Lincoln Riley responds to a game-changing ruling in California, President Trump's lawyer gets subpoenaed, and the Norman Regional Health Foundation is painting the town pink. This is OU Nightly. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm Olivia Whitehead.
And I'm Zach Verdea. We begin with breaking news out of the Golden State. Carly Vargas joins us on the signing of a bill that could affect the landscape of college sports. Carly?
A first-in-the-nation law could upend amateur sports in the U.S. and trigger a legal challenge. California Governor Gavin Newsom signed the law today. It's set to take effect in 2023. The new law will allow student athletes to sign endorsements with sportswear companies, soft drink makers, and other sponsors, just like pro athletes do. The NCAA released a statement on the Fair Pay to Play Act today saying the NCAA agrees changes are needed to continue to support student athletes, but improvement needs to happen on a national level through the NCAA's rules-making process. OU's head coach Lincoln Riley gave us his opinions on the subject.
I would hope that for the sake of sports and all that's good with college sports that everybody didn't just think about themselves or trying to win a vote or this or that. I hope everybody really thinks about the big picture view of this.
Unless things change when the bill takes effect, California schools will not be allowed to compete in NCAA-sanctioned events. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Carly. Trump's impeachment inquiry just got more intense as Trump's lawyer is now being subpoenaed.
Lindsey Gibbs has more in the News Center on this breaking story.
Thanks, Olivia. New allegations of President Trump pressuring world leaders for favors. The New York Times reports the president urged the Australian Prime Minister to assist Attorney General Barr in his investigation of their Mueller report origins. Also new today, the House of Intelligence Committee subpoenaed President Trump's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, for documents regarding Ukraine. Giuliani has until October 15th to hand over the documents or face legal charges. The impeachment inquiry is underway on Capitol Hill. Congress is currently in recess, but hearings may come early next week. President Trump is now demanding he know the identity of the whistleblower. However, authorities are not releasing that information in fear of the person's safety. Trump also made remarks on Twitter warning the public of a possible second civil war if Democrats pursue impeachment. There are now a total of 224 representatives of the 435-member chamber supporting the impeachment. It's not likely this would go anywhere in the Republican-controlled Senate. New York Congressman Chris Collins resigned today. Collins is expected to plead guilty to federal charges for insider trading. Manhattan federal prosecutors say the congressman traded stock based off of the results of a pharmaceutical company's drug trial. Collins, who is a member of the company, used the information to avoid almost $800,000 in losses. The congressman's resignation goes into effect on Tuesday. Olivia and Zach, it's been 1 year since journalist Jamal Khashoggi was brutally murdered inside a Saudi consulate in Turkey. The Saudi Arabian Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has now claimed responsibility for the assassination in a recent interview with 60 Minutes. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Lindsay. Did you notice the new addition to one of OU statues? OU Nightly's Abby Foster found out what the purpose of this unique creation was.
Well, the Pink Sphinx will be the kickoff for the Paint the Town Pink campaign.
The Norman Regional Health Foundation is painting the town pink this October.
So the Paint the Town Pink is a community initiative from the Norman Regional Health Foundation, and we wanted to support breast cancer and cancer patients throughout our community.
The campaign kicked off just outside the Fred Jones Museum of Art.
The Sphinx, as it's known, the Fernando Botero sculpture, has been on that campus, of course, for quite a while. And every time I drive by, I think that it needs a pink bra. And so it matches very nicely with our Paint the Town Pink campaign.
And the truth is,
everybody knows somebody who has had cancer or is going through cancer. So 1 in 2 men will have cancer, 1 in 3 women will have cancer, and 1 in 8 women will have breast cancer. And that's why we really wanted to support Breast Cancer Awareness Month and are hosting the Paint the Town Pink initiative.
If you want to participate in the campaign,
We have several avenues of ways people can get involved. We are selling pink flags for breast cancer patients in honor or memory of a patient, or white flags for any cancer patient. And those are for a $20 contribution through nrhfoundation.org.
The flags will be flown on all 3 of the Norman Regional Health System campuses, here at the Porter campus or Healthplex and Healthplex campus, and at Norman Regional Moore campus.
the proceeds from the fundraiser will go to several cancer support groups and will help provide bras and prostheses to mastectomy patients. Abby Foster, OU Nightly.
The original plan was to place the bra on the Sphinx, but Botero decided not to allow it last minute, forcing the NRH to find another place for the bra.
Well, Olivia, I think we have endured these warm temperatures for long enough.
I definitely agree. I'm ready for it to get a little bit cooler. Trey, any chance that we could see a drop in the temperature sometime soon?
Yeah, some big changes are on the way. We actually have some rain in the forecast as well. Right now, taking a look at downtown Oklahoma City, it is mostly cloudy. We're sitting in the 80s right now, 86 here in Norman. Winds out of the south at about 16 miles per hour. A few peaks of sunshine, but otherwise mostly cloudy. So this is tomorrow morning. Big time rain totals, nearly 2 inches in the Panhandle. Some of this may be headed our way. I'll break down exactly when that will happen coming up here in a second. So more heat to come. Flooding threat for some in Oklahoma, and a cool down is on the way. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Trey. This year marks 125 years of action for the Norman Fire Department. Established in 1894 with only 1 hose cart, a ladder on a wagon, the department was grown to 9 stations and over 160 personnel. Deputy Fire Chief Mike Wilson says although it's a huge accomplishment, they're treating it like any other day. A commemorative yearbook is set to come out in a couple of months for current and retired firefighters and their families.
Forbes has selected their 2019 Environmental Photo of the Year. Coming up, we have the winning photo and the Halloween images you won't want to miss.
Plus, one park kicked off their grand opening with a free concert. Plans for the future of this new location when we come back.
Welcome back. Weighing in at just over 2,000 pounds, bison are not easy to move around. However, James Myers joins us with the details on how several bison will cross state lines coming into Oklahoma in today's Earth Report.
Zach, more than 24 bison are moving homes from the Grand Canyon to the Quapaw Nation here in Oklahoma. 31 buffalo in all were loaded into livestock trailers for the 1,150-mile trip to the Quapaw Tribe's land in northeast Oklahoma. They were moved from the Grand Canyon due to trampling, damaging, and eating too much, despite being a herd of only 400 to 600. Buffalo were hunted in the 19th century from a population of 30 to 60 million down to just 400. Now the population is estimated to be right around the 500,000 mark. On Friday in Boston, hundreds of demonstrators blocked a downtown bridge while protesting climate justice. From 4:30 to 6:50, the Congress Street Bridge that spans Boston's Fort Point Channel remained closed. Protesters held signs saying declare climate and ecological emergency. 1 week earlier in Boston, a crowd of 1,000 gathered at Boston City Hall Plaza for the climate strike, which was sparked by 16-year-old Greta Thunberg's protest against lawmakers in her country. Finally, Forbes chose their environmental photo of the year. Some of the nominees include this photo of fallen trees in Tuvalu, this image of underwater cleaning in the Bosphorus as part of the Blue Zero Water Waste Project, this picture of sharks dangling from ropes taken by Antonio Buciello, and this is the winner, a young boy so desperate for water in Kenya that he risks cholera, typhoid fever, and other diseases just to get a drink from this dirty stream. Truly haunting imagery. Olivia and Zach, after a scare at middle schools and high schools in Claremore, Oklahoma over clean drinking water, the school and the EPA confirmed today the water is safe to drink. Back to you.
Well, thank you, James. The Scissortail Park held its grand opening this past week, attracting thousands of people. Now, the park plans to continue this momentum through the years to come. While visitors enjoyed the amenities, volunteers continue to clean up around the park following the Kings of Leon concert held Friday. The free concert brought in around 28,000 people, but didn't quite fill up the Great Lawn.
We know we can pack about 35,000 out there. So they did not fill the Great Lawn. We can do more. You know, we may have to bring in some local Oklahoma, maybe country celebrities and get them out there.
Scissortail Park plans to do around 50 concerts a year.
One OU apartment complex is working to assist those affected by Hurricane Dorian. Find out how you can help next.
And Trey Bell has a look at today's weather.
Yeah, guys, big changes on the way, a cool down and some rain for some. I'll have more after the break. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Trey Bell. Big changes on the way for our weather heading forward. Taking a look at downtown Oklahoma City right now. This is the Bricktown Ballpark. We're looking east. 86 degrees right now. A few peaks of sunshine every once in a while, but overall mostly cloudy. Winds out of the south. Dew point at 71, so it's pretty humid as well. A lot of that humidity is due to this Pacific moisture on its way up to Oklahoma. This is the past 24 hours, and it's been streaming into the plains. Tropical storm Narda in the in the Gulf of California, sending that moisture our way, and that's going to lead to some pretty significant rain chances heading over the next several hours. So this is late tonight. Storms in the Texas Panhandle will just continue to develop and move to the northwest. There is a flood watch in effect for the Oklahoma Panhandle, and notice more rounds of storms develop early Wednesday morning, and it's not till Wednesday night that we finally dry out and start to get some dry weather in here. This are clouds associated with a cold front on the way, so we'll break that down in here in just a second. How much rain are we talking? Up to 2.5 inches in the Panhandle, even more in the Texas Panhandle. So significant flooding event in store. Now, there are two possibilities. This front could get here Wednesday night, which will drop our temperatures even cooler for Thursday morning, or we could see this cold front move through early Thursday morning around sunrise. So we'll have to wait and see as we get closer, but all in all, cooler weather is on the way. 68 for a high on Thursday before we kind of warm back up into the 80s where we've been heading into the weekend. So lows tonight, 73, pretty much 70 statewide for your day tomorrow. Highs in the afternoon. Notice cooler in the Panhandle where we're getting all that rain. Elsewhere, however, upper 80s. So another hot and muggy day on the way for your Tuesday. So rain in the west, quite breezy tomorrow as well. Major shift Wednesday night into Thursday morning as well. And then we keep those warm temperatures headed through the weekend. But it is nice that we're finally going to get a break from all this heat. We've been dealing with it for such a long time.
Exactly. I'm ready for those cooler temperatures, making, walking to class a little bit easier.
Exactly. Yeah, you won't be sweating as much by the time you get there.
Exactly. Well, perfect. Thank you so much, Trey.
Of course.
The Traditions East Apartments team is hosting a food drive to assist those affected by Hurricane Dorian in the Bahamas. The staff at Traditions East are encouraging people to donate to the food drive. And for a particular staff member, she's doing all she can to help because the Bahamas is home.
Pretty much really just wanted to do something while we were here because it's really hard being away from your family and having to carry on with your regular schedule once something like a natural disaster happens. It almost feels like you're being selfish in a way because you're literally carrying on with your life while everyone else is being affected.
They're offering free pizza for all who donate canned goods or toiletries at Traditions East on Wednesdays.
And the football team wasn't the only Oklahoma team that went against Tech this weekend. Carly, who else took on the Raiders?
The OU soccer team danced with the Raiders in Lubbock over the weekend, and did OU volleyball manage to keep the win streak alive? Find out in sports next. Back to OU Nightly, I'm Carly Vargas, and it's time for sports. The Sooners took Texas Tech's Tortillas and made it a wrap. Jalen Hurts had another astounding performance with 415 passing yards and 76 rushing yards. Another Sooner standout was wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, who had his own career high of 185 yards along with 3 touchdowns, leading the team over Tech 55-16. Game Day used Sam Brown and Parker Thune give us a recap of Saturday's easy win.
55-16, the final here on a very hot and very humid day at Gaylord Memorial Stadium. Sam Brown alongside Parker Thune breaking down today's game. And Parker, big game. Seemed like everything went right for the Sooners today, but what was your biggest takeaway from
you? Sam, everything did go right for them. And is it too early to start drawing parallels to that 2000 National Championship team? Because that's honestly what I see. Look, the question has never been whether the Sooners can put up points. The offense is college football's best, and that's not even really a question. But the defense, we continue to see week in and week out an improvement in their performance level. That was highlighted today by the fact that Tech continued to drive into Sooner territory, and the defense would lock down, force a fumble, force a field goal, force a punt, whatever they had to do to keep Texas Tech off the scoreboard. That increased effort is going to pay dividends in the long run, and I'm excited to see what the rest of the Big 12 season brings for the Sooner defense.
Yeah, the energy was all over the place. The offense, the defense, special teams, the fan base, everything came together.
The men's golf team is currently atop the leaderboards in the Nike Collegiate Invitational, holding a 6-shot lead over Oklahoma State. With Logan McAllister in front at 6 under par, the Sooners have 3 golfers in the top 5. And the football team wasn't the only team who went against Tech this weekend. OU soccer took on the Red Raiders on Sunday in Lubbock. Redshirt junior Kaylee Dow scored a goal in the 83rd minute to bring the score to 1-1 just minutes before the final whistle and end the match in a draw. And the volleyball team has kept the win streak alive after finishing up West Virginia 3-1. Currently, they are undefeated at home and in conference play and look to keep it going in Waco against the #1 Baylor Bears. And if all that isn't enough OU sports for you, then check out Sooner Sports Pad tonight. Sam Brown is here with a preview of tonight's show. Sam?
Carly, we're going to have even more Sooner coverage for you tonight. Be sure to tune in to Sooner Sports Pad at 7:30 on Fox Sports Oklahoma. We're going to go one-on-one with Sooners fullback Jeremiah Hall, and we'll also debate who is the Sooners' most improved player this fall, plus a preview from our very own Christian Nunley of the upcoming men's basketball season. And as always, if you miss us tonight, you can actually check the replay right here on OU TV tomorrow after our newscast. Carly, back to you.
If you know football, you should know one of the biggest no-nos is helmet-to-helmet contact. Well, Raiders' Vontaze Burfict broke that sacred rule again. You can see Coach Jack Doyle is already down when Burfict goes in for the tackle. He was immediately thrown out of the game and is now suspended for the rest of the season. On Saturday, the Mississippi football team weren't the only ones getting a beatdown. The Auburn Tigers also went after Bully the Bulldog. Jatarvius Whitlow, also known as Booby, came flying towards the poor dog on the sidelines. But good news, Bully is okay. His mom tweeted out towards the end of the game he was headed back on the field. How can you just go after a dog like that?
That's
what I'm saying.
If beating them by 25 points wasn't enough, had to go after the dog, too.
Right.
All I'm thinking about is the poor puppy. That was all that was going through my head with that one.
Me too.
Well, thank you so much, Carly. And Oprah Winfrey doesn't need her own talk show to give back to the community.
Who her generous donation is affecting, straight ahead on OU Nightly.
I'm Victoria Perkins at the OU Nightly Update Desk. The Australian Prime Minister received a call from President Trump pressuring him to help Attorney General Barr to discredit the Mueller investigation. According to the New York Times, Barr is the one who encouraged Trump to make the phone call. The Australian government first brought attention to the possible Russian interference in the 2016 election. That is it for now. Back to you in the studio.
The queen of giveaways is at it again. While speaking at the 17th annual Maya Angelou Women Who Lead Luncheon, Oprah Winfrey has pledged to donate $1.15 million towards helping minority students go to college.
The event alone raised $1.15 million before Oprah took to the stage and matched the donation. The United Negro College Fund shattered their donation record on Saturday after entering the day with a $1 million goal. Well, Oprah's back at it again, honestly.
I guess so. You know, I saw a commercial yesterday for Oprah Pizzas. Apparently she has a food brand.
So she can donate and she can, you know, serve people up with some pizza.
I guess so, yeah. I wonder how it tastes.
Everybody wants some Oprah.
Of course, of course. Yeah,
well, Trey, what do you have for a weather review for us?
So big time flooding is in store as well for western Oklahoma, but also too for central Oklahoma for Norman, a big cool down. So highs in the 80s and 90s for tomorrow and Wednesday, but then by the time we get to Thursday, we're going to be in the 60s.
See, now that's what fall is supposed to feel like.
Exactly, yeah, we're finally getting there. We're getting little tastes of it before we actually move into fall.
Start busting out some of that clothes for the winter.
Exactly, yeah, you might be able to
stuff.
wear a long sleeve shirt on Thursday, so.
That might be a little bit different.
Breaking
I'm not used to that
there
one.
You go. Hey, that's
breaking news. The weather is cool now. Well, perfect. Thank you so much.
Of course, yeah.
Thank you for tuning into OU Nightly, where we're live every weekday from Gaylor Hall on the campus of the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night, live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.